Today we're taking a good look at the recently revealed Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origins. It's a Souls-like RPG set in the universe of Final Fantasy 1, so when this was first revealed at E3 it was pretty cringy with some awful dialogue and writing. It was a chaotic mess. I mean, how many times can you say chaos in a 2.5 minutes trailer?
I'm here to kill chaos. Looks like chaos has been waiting for us. I only know one thing. I want to kill chaos.
You sure chaos is here?
This is the shrine of chaos. He's here. Chaos. You're here to kill chaos.
I become chaos.
Chaos, chaos, chaos. It was leaked before E3 that Square Enix would be showing a new Souls-like set in the Final Fantasy universe, so I was really excited going into E3, but the trailer they did show left a sour taste. Square released a demo exclusive to the PlayStation 5, then unreleased it because it was completely broken and didn't work. After it got patched and fixed, it was time to kill chaos.
We're here to kill chaos.
I gave it a download on a whim since it was only available for a limited time. I went in with low expectations and was pleasantly surprised when it came to the gameplay. I mean, it is made by Koei Tecmo Games, the devs behind Nioh, which is a series I really enjoyed, and the devs have done some pretty brilliant Souls-like gameplay in the past. I just want to take you through my experiences with the demo and talk a little bit about what we know so far of Stranger of Paradise. Bear with me because things are bound to change as the game develops. Starting up the demo, we've got the choice of difficulty, something pretty uncommon in Souls-likes. I naturally went with hard to try to create the most Souls-like experience. We get a quick little tutorial in yellow fields which haven't got the best graphical fidelity. It doesn't help the PS5 doesn't work at 2K when I've only got a 2K monitor at my desk, so I'm having to play at 1080p. One of the most interesting mechanics is the soul shield. Press circle at the moment an enemy attacks to parry and leave an enemy vulnerable. But here's the thing, if you soul shield certain enemy abilities, you'll make copies of that ability for you to use, including Goblin's stone throws, Bomb's fire or Bat's supersonic ability. If you're a Final Fantasy fanatic, you'll be happy you've technically got Blue Mage mechanics baked into the core gameplay. Pretty awesome. So starting off, you'll be swinging your greatsword about. Pulling off successful attacks will slowly build up your MP bar. You can then spend your MP on special attacks. The MP attacks will also lock you into the animation and sometimes leave you vulnerable. There's a finesse to dodging attacks and making use of your soul shield, but things can get pretty chaotic when the game throws loads of monsters at you at once. You're going to want to make use of area of effect abilities if you can. Both you and enemies have a stagger bar, and once depleted, you'll both be vulnerable, but you can finish enemies off with your soul shield, very similar to Sekiro. We've got a large number of traditional Final Fantasy enemies that will be familiar to FF players. Surprisingly, not all the monsters are from Final Fantasy 1. I thought they would be faithful and mostly have monsters exclusively from the original Chaos Shrine. There's goblins, bombs, bats, wolves, skeletons, and I did catch a cactuar, but it managed to run away. The bombs in particular I want to focus on. So if you soul shield their fireballs back at them, as you'd expect, the bombs grow bigger until they self-destruct, which also damages nearby enemies. This was really satisfying to perform, and it shows how interesting and intuitive the gameplay can hopefully be. Enemies will often drop loot and equipment on death. Loot kinda works like Nioh, where you'll mostly get tons of generated generic loot and just be equipping slightly higher numbers. I personally prefer how Dark Souls deals with its equipment. It's a lot rarer and I'd mostly swap equipment just for cosmetic reasons. There doesn't seem to be anything lost on death, but you can retrieve your corpse to recover some MP. And there's these little glowing cubes which serve as rest spots or Dark Souls like bonfires, and similarly they recover your HP, MP, restock your potions and respawn enemies. I found the actual environmental visuals were just okay, but we are restricted to this mouldy castle. Mentioned earlier it's supposed to be the Chaos Shrine, as in the first dungeon in the original Final Fantasy 1, but it kinda feels a bit generic. There's attempts of a moody atmosphere with a focus on lighting the interior of the shrine, but that atmosphere is kind of damaged with your character repeating the same cheesy catchphrases over and over again with weapon swings. You can interact with some of the environment, putting out fires with water magic, or unlocking new paths or shortcuts, which again has that Dark Souls design theme about it. You also get drenched in blood as you fight, another bit of flavour I really like. I did like most of the music I heard. There was a track that felt like echoes of old Final Fantasy music. I can always appreciate the music in a Final Fantasy. There's a job system, and it might be my favourite part of Stranger of Paradise. You can currently play as a great sword wielding swordsman, club wielding mage, or lance wielding lancer. Progress enough into the skill tree and you can lock the more advanced versions of these jobs. Warrior with its battle shouts, Black Mage with more destructive magic, and Dragoon with its signature jump ability. You can equip 2 of these jobs at once and swap between them mid-combat. I really like this, and I could get tactical and swap jobs depending on what I'm fighting. You start off with the swordsman or warrior, and there's a pretty hefty weight behind your sword swings. But I prefer the Dragoon and doing pentathrust-like attacks at the end of combos, probably because I made Dragoon in Final Fantasy 11 and 14, so it's got a special place for me. But Black Mage was the one that really blew me away. For starters, you've got a full elemental wheel of spells to cast, with different enemies being stronger or vulnerable to the different elements. A lot of games these days kind of abandoned the elemental wheel, so I'm happy to see it here. As a Black Mage, you need to stand still and charge up your magic to power up your spells. This is exactly how a Black Mage should work. Really vulnerable, but devastatingly powerful if left unattended. And I can confirm that fully charged up spells do leave you feeling incredibly satisfied and powerful when pulled off. Don't forget there's those blue mage mechanics cemented into the core gameplay also. I'm kind of really looking forward to see what other jobs get added into the full game. Are we going to see pet style summoner jobs? My money is on Dark Knight, even though it wasn't in the original like Dragoon, it's gotta be in. There's 2 AI controlled party members that follow you around and assist you. I found them pretty good distractions just to take the heat off you in combat, but once they're cured, they require you to use your potions to bring them back into the fight, so I usually don't bother with them at that point. No word on whether Stranger of Paradise will be an online co-op game though. It looks like just AI partners for now. I will say there's a serious lack of information on these party members. At the very least it would be useful to see their remaining HP, just so I know when they're about to drop dead. This is something Square Enix are asking about in their survey at the end of the demo. Hopefully they make good use of all the feedback they get. And to me the survey kind of suggests that the game is only in the early to mid stages of development. The big boss of the demo is Garland, or should I say Chaos ? He makes for a pretty fun fight. He likes to close any distance with charges, not too difficult to dodge, but if you can maintain some distance he's pretty easy to cheese with black magic. I saw him enchant his sword with fire or blizzard magic, and it seems you can extinguish his enchant by casting the elemental weakness. So in the trailer we hear a woman speaking.
There was a knight who left on the same journey as you, but never returned. His name was Garland.
If we turn the subtitles on in-game, we can see the name of this woman, Princess Sarah. She was in Final Fantasy 1 abducted by Garland. It's kind of interesting to theorise how this game connects with the original. She speaks in past tense, maybe future her is telling the tale of this origin story. It's early days and we barely even know anything about the character we get to play, Jack, or his companions, who claim to be the Warriors of Light.
The prophecy's very own Warriors of Light.
My wild theory is that the main character is actually Garland, or becomes Garland. There's clues when the party asks who is this guy, and they remark that he makes similar attacks to our main character Jack.
I've seen that attack before.
Yeah, Jack. Like him, baby. We know who does it better.
If you're exploring every nook and cranny, the demo is less than 1 hour long, but it depends on the difficulty too. I had a few issues at the start with adapting to combat and getting the timing down, but I got the grasps of it pretty quick. Overall, a very mixed bag. I'm actually looking forward to the full release of Stranger of Paradise after trying the demo. It's the gameplay and the Final Fantasy themes that really sold me. The full game is not going to be exclusive to the PS5 like the demo. We've got PS4, all the Xboxes and PC listed in the trailer. Please come to Steam. Hopefully they can sort out the dialogue, maybe tone down that chaos.
We're here to kill chaos.
And I wouldn't be surprised if we see another demo down the road for more feedback, especially after their rocky start. If any more demos become available in the future, I'd recommend downloading them, give it a try and go kill chaos. If you're a big Final Fantasy fan, check out my FF7 Mega video, where I share my stories and experiences with the game. Peace for now.